do you have the right tools for the job? Even if you have the right tools, maybe you're using them the wrong way. You know, people are more likely to bring their full selves to work when they feel psychologically safe, valued, and resourced. In other words, engagement thrives when employees have the right tools, clarity, and support that they need to succeed. Today, we're going to talk about my experience with the dishwasher. Hello, my name is Glen Guyton, keynote speaker and cultural futurist, equipping organizations with employee engagement solutions that drive innovation, reduce stress, and boost performance. Now, do me a favor and make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. And if you like the content, share it with a friend. So let me tell you my dishwasher story. My dishwasher recently went out. And so it cost a lot of money to get it fixed. So I said I might as well just buy a new dishwasher. And I got the bright idea that I want to save some additional money. So I decided that I was going to fix the dishwasher myself. And you know what? Maybe it was a bad idea. No, I don't know. It was a good idea. I mean, I saved some money, but it took me a long time. Now, probably an experienced dishwasher repairman would probably have this done in a couple hours. It took me a week. Why did it take me a week? Well, not because I wasn't smart enough to fix the dishwasher, but mainly because I didn't have the right tools to get the job done efficiently. You know, I don't know if you know this about dishwasher, but when you buy a dishwasher, it doesn't come with all of the tools and things that you need to install it. It doesn't come with a power cord. It doesn't come with all of the hoses that you might need to install it. And there are a number of little other bits and pieces that you might need to make this installation go quickly. So I have tools, and I had a few of the pieces, but not all of the pieces. So I wound up having to order some hoses from Amazon, and part of it was my mistake because I cut a hose that I needed, not knowing where the other hose was. So I had some things available to me. I just didn't know where they were. And I had to keep going back and forth to my garage to get my tools. My tools weren't readily accessible. Now, I have a lot of tools in my garage, but they're here and there, and they're for a variety of things. All of my tools aren't necessarily geared toward fixing dishwashers. So I had to get the tools, put them in the right place. I had to get the right tools. I had to go buy a few additional parts. It was a lot. And so what should have taken me a couple hours actually turned into a week waiting on parts, getting things together, staging things in my living room so that when I got everything together, I could put my dishwasher together. And you know what? At the end of the day, I was frustrated. I was so frustrated thinking I should have just paid the $150 to have this dishwasher installed. But my dishwasher is working great now. I did save $150, but I was tired. I was frustrated. And hopefully this dishwasher lasts 10 years and I don't have to do this again. So what does that have to do with you and your workplace? Well, if your employees don't have the right tools, if they don't have tools in the right place, if the tools aren't easily accessible, they're going to check out. They're going to be frustrated, and they're not going to be as productive as they could be. So I want to give you 10 tips to help you ensure that your team is fully engaged and that they have the tools that they need to do their job. Number one, involve employees in the tool selection process. So before you start with new physical tools or new electronic tools, make sure people are connected and involved and understand the new platforms that they're going to be using. When people feel ownership, they're more likely to engage and adopt the tools. Number two, map tools to the job roles. So we want to ensure that each team member has access to the resources that match their responsibilities. Remember, I said that I have a lot of tools, but all of my tools aren't geared to fixing dishwashers. So it took me a lot of time to get everything in place and figure out which drawer this tool was in and what tool did I need for this and what tool did I need to connect these things. Frustrating. So understand that tools aren't a one size fits all thing, and that what works for finance may frustrate frontline staff. Make sure they have the right tools for the right job. Number 3, assign tool champions to build confidence. What does that mean? Well, you need to have go-to experts in the workplace that can help people understand the tools that you've given them. Tool champions can help onboard others. And if there are problems, everyone doesn't need to run to you, but they can go to the tool champion. Now, this is a biggie. Number 4, ensure mobile accessibility to whatever tools that you need for your team. Especially if you have shift workers, remote workers, or field teams, they need to have access to the tools. Now, some of you are probably really frustrated with some of the online tools that you have to use for work. It's hard to get beyond the firewalls, the security. You have to type in 2,500 different letters and codes in order to get your job done. That's frustrating. Going back to my dishwasher analogy, my dishwasher story, I had to keep going back and forth to the garage to get this tool, Then I had to run to Home Depot to get this part, Frustration. Tools need to be easily accessible. And if you have people on the go, they should be able to take those tools on the go. Get a tool belt or whatever you need, easy access, a plug-in dongle, whatever you need to get people the right access to their tools, especially if they are on the go. Number 5, offer clarity alongside tools. Tools without clear processes create confusion. Make sure that you provide guides, playbooks, or video instructions to help people learn how to use the tools. And some of those instructions may already be out there, like on YouTube. I know that when we bought in new software for my team, I said, hey, here's a YouTube video on this tool. Watch it, learn. Kind of goes along with number 6, that you need to train people. And this is continuous training, not just once, but continual training. Why? Because especially electronic tools, they get updated. So people need to know how to use these tools and know all of the features. Ongoing support builds competence. Make sure you schedule refresher training. And sometimes people just forget, right? If you have a number of tools that you have to use, they may forget, well, how does this work? What does this little dial on the drill do? I forgot. I know how to use a drill, right? But I don't know what all of these little numbers on the drill means, or how do I check the battery status of my tool? So there may be little things that people forget over time, or they're confident in using a similar tool, but they don't know how to use the particular tool you have for your workplace. And then number 7, empower teams to request what they need. Sometimes there's some new tools out there and people need to say, hey, I need this tool. It's going to help me do my job. Empower people to request what they need. And I tell my employees that all the time. Say, hey, we can spend money. We want to spend money in the right way. Don't tell me you can't do something and there's a tool out there that can do it and you're just being cheap, right? I didn't ask you to be cheap. I want you to be productive, because sometimes you being more productive will save me money in the long run. So empower teams to request what they need. And number 8, again, connect tools to a purpose. With all of the technology and options that we have out there, sometimes we get too many tools. So people should know how each tool contributes to the organization, why you've chosen that tool, and why you need that tool. So make sure the tools have a purpose and you don't just have a bunch of stuff laying around. And if you do have a bunch of stuff laying around, or too many tools, too many options, Declutter. That's number 9. Declutter the tech stack in particular. Too many tools create digital fatigue. Make sure that you regularly audit platforms to eliminate redundancy, streamline workflows, and reduce stress. I'll give you an example. CRM, so customer relations management tools. They do a lot. Then some people have a CRM, then they'll have an email tool like MailChimp, and then they'll use something else to track financial data. And so they have 3 tools. They have a CRM, such as like Zoho, then they'll have MailChimp, and then they'll have something like Razor's Edge, Blackbaud. So they have 3 different tools that do very similar things, but the comms department is using one, the finance department is using one, and no one is really talking to one another to say, hey, can we just use one tool for the whole organization versus using 3? Something you have to think about. You may have to use multiple tools, but make sure that you've audited this and you know why you're using each tool. And then number 10, track usage and engagement. Now, I'm somewhat of a tech nerd, geek. I will buy software or sign up for a subscription in a minute, and then we'll never use it. That's a waste of time, waste of energy. So we need to make sure that we monitor how tools are being used and get feedback so that you can save time and money because we only want to use the tools that help us to accomplish our goals. And this is upside down. We don't want to use a tool like that, but we only want to use the tools that help us accomplish our goals, and we want to be efficient. And if tools get obsolete, we need to toss them. We don't need to hang on to them. This goes for physical tools, digital tools, paper tools, anything that helps us do our job better and increase our productivity. So thank you for your time. We want to make sure that our employees are engaged and that they have the resources that they need to do their jobs. Leaders, you make a difference. So let's not forget, better leaders get better results. So to every one of you leading the charge for a more supportive and engaging workplace, I leave you with this. Stay bold, stay inspired, and remember that your actions today shape the culture of tomorrow. My name is Glen Guyton. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.